suppose. Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, another watch along. We had to skip the podcast this week because Nick decided to be greedy and go to his local club's championship final. What a jerk.
My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
I promise it won't happen again.
Actually, we did do a watch along for that particular pin. It's a fifth tier to fourth tier. Congratulations, by the way. It was a fantastic game, as one of the announcers said. A perfect advertisement for non-league football. Support your local club. If you're American, support the USL. If you don't have an MLS team near you. And even if you're European, give second and third leagues a shot, man. You'd be surprised when you get out of it. You got pretty drunk last night, I imagine, right?
Not just last night. Yesterday morning. Was sort of when it started.
So today, we're playing a little bigger game with a little higher quality. We're going to be in Paris today for Paris Saint-Germain versus VfB Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund. Second leg of a semi-final, and surprisingly, first of all, Dortmund's here in the first place. They're up 1-0 going into this. Certainly, Paris is not out of it, but I have a weird feeling this is going to be a typical Paris exit. Am I onto something, or was that goal a fluke? Does Paris go to their first final tonight?
It'll be their second final. They got there under Tuchel.
That's right, they did get under.
Which is why Tuchel's great. But yeah, Dortmund were the better team in the other leg, so I don't think it'd be like a huge shock if they went through today. Like, I think there's a lot more people that are expecting Dortmund to do it now than there were going into the tie because they were so good in the first game against them.
This is not a team that I feared during the year that I'd ever think about it. By this time of year that they would be vying for basically the biggest title in Europe. I'm a little surprised by that, to be perfectly honest with you. What do you think is some of the keys to the match today? Is how they did seem to. I don't know if, because I really watched the Bayern game. I don't know if the Dortmund defense shut Kylian Mbappe down, or did he just have an off day? And how important it is, and what can you even do tactically with a Kylian Mbappe, a player like that?
I think it was probably a mix of both, where Mbappe wasn't on his best form, but Dortmund definitely dealt with him as well as you can deal with Kylian Mbappe. So that is probably the biggest question going into this, is what Mbappe will we see? Because at the end of the day, as obvious as it is, he's going to be the biggest factor in this for either side. If Dortmund can keep him quiet, then they should go through. If he turns up and decides to play like he did in the World Cup final, then Dortmund are in big trouble. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking at the most. Is
well, the thing
Mbappe
is about
today.
The thing is about Mbappe, though. I mean, he does respond well to pressure, and the World Cup is a perfect example. But you also can go back, 4 years earlier than that, and he's a big part of that World Cup final as well. He is probably the best total football player on the planet at his age. I don't think anybody could deny that. Of course, this could be potentially his last game tonight. The Real Madrid thing all seems like a done deal. He will be with Jude Bellingham in Real Madrid next year, making them ultra dangerous. And we might be talking about them in a final, or maybe he could be part to back. I don't know. It's just going to be interesting. How they're going to deal with it. Nicholas Füllkrug, a player that is the striker for Team Germany going into the Euros, a player that kind of blossomed later in his career. Is he underrated? Just how dangerous is Nicholas Füllkrug, and how much of a factor is he going to be?
Well, he obviously got the goal in the first round, so he's already been a difference maker in this tie as it is. I think, yeah, I do quite like Füllkrug. I think he's a dangerous striker. He's a bit more traditional, where he's not like Mbappe, where he's this quick, skillful player on the ball. He's this bigger, more of a target man type. But yeah, he's definitely a dangerous striker that PSG are really going to have to work to keep him quiet because, yeah, I mean, he's got a starting spot in that German side for good reason. You know, he scored a lot of goals in the Bundesliga. He's been a bit quieter this season in the Bundesliga, but even still, the threat still remains there with Füllkrug.
Let's see. Let's go over some of the lineups we got here. Of course, it looks like, according to FootMob, it's a 4-3-3. I'm not quite. I don't always believe what I see here. Mbappe on the left, Ramos in the center, Dembele, I can never say his name correctly, on the right, number 10, Ruiz, Ventetta, Zaire Emery in the midfield, Mendes, Wardlow, McCurris, and Hakimi. Real great player right there. And the great in net, Giuliluigi Donnarumma, great keeper in net for Paris, one of the best in the world. With BVB Füllkrug up front, 3 midfielders behind him, Brandt in the center, Adimi on his right, and Sancho. Adimi on his left and Sancho on his right. Sablitzer, they're going to be playing defensive midfield. And our backs are Metzine and Ryerson and Hummels and Slaughterback, 2 of the best defenders in all of Europe, if you ask me. That's a tag team we're dealing with. They look like they're playing a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, do you have any comment on that? Or is there anything we should be aware of with these particular formations? Or our formations kind of overplayed too, as far as what insight they give you? Are they just like kind of a fortune cookie, or
Dieses Spiel wird Ihnen präsentiert von
or do they really matter all that much? I think there's a lot of I get the feeling, I shouldn't say for sure, there's a lot of overemphasis on formations.
Yeah, formations, like especially recently, have become this thing where they're kind of irrelevant when you look into how the game plays out, because you know it's just what they look like on paper. Both teams won't really be playing in that formation when the game actually starts. You find a lot of the time they completely change when they're off the ball, and on the ball they'll play completely differently. Like you see fullbacks like Ian Maatsen, or like you had Cancelo at City, where right, they're a left back or whatever in the formation, but then when Dortmund will have the ball, he'll play in midfield, and so all of a sudden the formation's completely changed because the players just move around a lot in the system. So yeah, it is one of those things where there's always been a big emphasis on formations and like, well, do you play a 3-back or a 4-back or whatever? Whereas like, yeah, in the game, they're not, the starting formation isn't that important, because a lot of the time the tactics in the game will completely change where every player plays anyway.
I always kind of wonder that if this is like just a little too much emphasis. We got the scoreboard up on the watch along. Thanks for being a part of it. Of course, you can join us in Discord if you want. Join the club, join the crew, join the Discord. If we're looking for content creators, this is a group project, and we just do the watch along for fun and try to introduce people to it. It's kind of bad. We got our first 1,000 hit video of about Messi of all things. What a shock! But we're looking for more content creators, people who create shorts, thumbnails, the whole nine. Community project, a lot of fun. I will be taking off. I won't be back till Monday, so you have to do the Bayern game without me. I'm going on vacation, and I have all the equipment, so that's it. So no podcast this week, but we'll come back Monday and we'll do another podcast. So we'll just take this week off, and I'm sure I'll have plenty to talk about, plenty of finals coming up, and interesting things. And just probably the final week of the Prem, so it could be something interesting to talk about between Man City and Arsenal. Lots of stuff going on. I might try to sneak out with my Wiesbaden rant before I leave, but other than that, I'm off. I'm off to Nice. I wonder if I'm going to be able to pick up a jersey. Free kick for Dortmund, about 30 meters out. Oh, here it is, the delivery. Nice. He tries to get to the full front, but it falls right in Donnarumma's hands.
Nice delivery there from Maatsen.
Perfect. Real good delivery. It's a lot of luck on those kicks, too. I mean, well, you can't really find fault with that delivery, yet it didn't end up in a goal. So you really got to get things go your own way in a lot of cases.
Yeah, you need both the cross, the movement, the header, all to go perfectly, sort of.
Mm.
And even then, the keeper could pull out a good save and it all goes to nothing.
Mm. Marquinhos Dembele.
Be interesting to see an all-German final, though, if Dortmund and Bayern can do this.
It would be something to really rock this place going into the Euro. So, yeah, I guess I'm... Mbappe's got so much time. Yeah. Oh, fuck Paris. Really.
Mbappe will probably win a few at Madrid anyway.
Oh, dangerous cross falls into the hands of Kobel. Swiss goalkeeper Gregor Kobel.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you look at how immensely talented Madrid are, and they might make the final this year, and then you're like, yeah, we're going to add Mbappe to that. It's like, it almost seems unfair, really, doesn't it?
But, you know, like you talked about...
You've got the Champions League final potential team adding Mbappe.
But, you know, we talked about it before, the late 2000... Well, actually, was it late 2000? Yeah, the late 2000... Well, no, I'm sorry, early 2000s. Los Blancos with, of course, David Beckham, Zinedine Zidane. R9, too, if I'm not mistaken, for part of that, right?
Yep.
Didn't win as much as you thought. They didn't do as much damage as well. Sometimes these super teams don't particularly work out, but it's not like Mbappe will be going into Real Madrid, clearly the clear-cut star over there. It's not going to be a situation like Zidane and Ronaldo and Beckham, where they're, you know, both all of them are huge superstars and they're all right in their own right. But it will be a super team nonetheless. Luka Modric going to do another year?
I'm not sure. There was talk of him leaving in the summer, but I'm not 100% caught up on that yet.
It's really amazing that a 54-year-old man can continue this pace and this play. It's just absolutely... I don't think enough people talk about Luka Modric.
No, they're always going on about that Japanese guy, but you know, he's younger than Modric. So I'm not sure why he gets all the attention.
Yeah, me either.
But I think this Madrid side is better poised to get a star like Mbappe than the Galacticos were back in the 2000s. Yeah. Like, it feels like a more balanced squad for me.
I think that's the words I was looking for. It's a more balanced squad. When I said that Mbappe is the clear-cut superstar there, whereas it wasn't as clear-cut when we're talking about two out of those three guys I mentioned, two of them we're talking top 5, top 10 players of all time. I don't know if I'd put not because he wasn't. I don't think Beckham would put himself in that category. To be perfectly honest with you, he's a little more humble than that. Oh,
although very underrated.
Corner kick, definitely. Well, tried to get it in. Fire put out by Dortmund. But Paris controls Dortmund's end. They're looking for another cross. High looping one. And fired by Mbappe, but not good. Really didn't get a great foot on it. Easy to pick up for Kobel.
Yeah, because there's that famous quote from Zidane back then. They sold Makelele when they brought in David Beckham, and Makelele was like the defensive midfielder of the side. And obviously Beckham is not a defensive midfielder. And he said, "You've bought a Rolls Royce but sold the engine," sort of to just say,
yeah, right.
Like, yeah, like, you know, you've got this flash player come in, but you've sold what, like, sort of keeps the team going. Because Makelele was that fantastic midfielder where he would just do all the dirty work. You know, he was well known. That was like the Makelele thing, was he would run around, win the ball all the time. He did all the dirty work for that Madrid side, and they sort of sold him when Beckham came in. And I think that's one of the big reasons why the team didn't do so well, was because it was a bit top heavy. Whereas this Madrid side, like I say, it's a very balanced team all round. As long as they don't do something stupid. If it's just Mbappe added to this team, I think it should be more successful than the Galacticos were.
I think Mbappe's going to have to adjust to it a little bit because, like, the squad is, and the team traditionally, they're in charge. The team is in charge. I don't think they're going to allow, too many diva-type behavior. They'll crack down on that real quick. I think I get the feeling with Real Madrid, it's a bit more militaristic, for lack of a better word, the way they run their club because there's such a deep tradition. This is the team that won the most Champions League trophies. Really?
Yeah, no one's bigger than the club at Madrid. Whereas, like at PSG, you look at the way they've treated Mbappe.
Yeah.
Getting Macron involved, offering him the world to stay. It's like how you've given up all your power in that situation and given it to Mbappe. Whereas Madrid would never do anything like that. If he tries anything like that, Madrid will just tell him to fuck off because no one's bigger than Madrid, sort of thing.
Yeah. Again, you use better words than I do. I can't. No one is bigger than the club over there. I think he'll, and maybe he knows that. Maybe he's going to get lost in the stars a little bit too, because that is a big club to be a part, no matter where you're from. Dembele brings it up through the midfield, and now the final third, looking for a cross, dangerous cross machine, and dealt with today. I don't watch League A. Is Dortmund known for being a little more together defensively than the PSG? Because obviously they do have a lot of firepower up front. Is this a defense, sort of like a situation like the best offense versus the best defense situation? I know Dortmund's a little older on average age, which is really part of the surprise why they've gotten this far in the competition. Is that what the battle of best offense versus best defense? Is that what we're going to see? Much like we did yesterday?
Not necessarily. It's a hard one to tell because obviously when you're a team like PSG, you're so dominant in your league. Naturally, you're just going to concede a lot less goals anyway because your quality of play is higher. You control the ball more, and obviously if you've got the ball, they can't score, and that is the thing with Enrique, the PSG coach. He's very much a possession-orientated coach. So, they dominate the ball a lot, they pass it around a lot, so naturally they don't give up a lot of chances. But whether as a unit, when faced against better players, they're necessarily better than Dortmund, that's certainly up to question. It's a tough one to answer because of that, where it's always the age-old thing, you don't see a PSG tested as much in their league competition, so it's always hard to compare to anyone. But, like, player for player, Marquinhos and Hummels are probably two very similar level centre-backs. They've been two of the best in Europe for years. Hummels obviously edges that, but, they're two top class players. Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. I think
Schlotterbeck's no slouch back there either.
Schlotterbeck's definitely a fantastic player. But, I don't know. This Dortmund team, they're just a bit of an anomaly in general.
Donnarumma faces a little static, and he's forced to kick it out for a deep throw-in for Dortmund.
They're just a hard one to tell because the Dortmund in the Bundesliga is not Dortmund that we've seen in the Champions League so far. It's quite funny though that Leverkusen are winning the Bundesliga. Leverkusen have won the Bundesliga, and yet we could see an all-German Champions League final, and one of those teams won't be the champions.
Here to Ademi, shot deflected up and over. Ademi looked like he was trying to avoid the defender, and in that he just got under the ball. Oh no, not at all. Excellent block, first class. Who was that masked man?
Tell you what, though. I wanted to say that was Hakimi, but I'm not sure.
Corner kick.
What I will say, though, is
Julian Brandt.
That chest down from Fulkrug to give it to Adeyemi in the perfect position for him to volley that was very nice.
Paris will get away from the corner kick and start an attack of their own. This time going down the left side. Try to work it through the center. Oh, tries a shot on goal, just goes wide. Jaden, excuse me, not Jaden.
Gonçalo Ramos.
Yeah, Gonçalo Ramos. Portuguese international.
Yeah, just to go back to the Dortmund chance quickly. That chest down from Füllkrug was brilliant, and it just goes to show some of the quality that a big player like Füllkrug can bring to your offense. Where he's big, he's fighting the defender for the ball there, and he jumps up, chests it down for Adeyemi using his physicality, and I think he's like 6'4", Füllkrug, to beat the defenders to that, and plays it perfectly down for Adeyemi to have a really good chance at goal there, and that's something that PSG in the past has really missed before this season. It's something Mbappe's complained about a lot to the higher ups, because they've always had like Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, all of these, but he's never had like a big striker to play with like a Füllkrug. And I know that's something that Mbappe has complained about before, because it can really unlock things for you playing next to someone like that, where he fights the defenders and just gets you into the spaces because he's got all these defenders fighting on him.
Sancho gets it back. Adini. Back to Slaughterback. Dortmund slowing it down a little, but they get it up the right side. Ryerson trying to work it in. He's knocked down. No call on the play. Gets up, still carries the ball with two defenders on him. And it's stripped away from him. And it looks like Paris is able to clear. Still taking a bit of a press and knocked out by Kylian Mbappe. It'll be throw in for Dortmund.
It's unlucky there from Mbappe. Just unable to keep it on. Have you seen all the talk about Mbappe versus Usain Bolt in a running race?
Well, now, I mean, Bolt's a little older. No, I haven't seen him talk about that at all.
There's been a lot of talk of it potentially happening, a 100-meter race between Mbappe and Usain Bolt.
Why would you?
So everyone's been asking the question, who would win?
Well, why would Bolt want to take that challenge? He hasn't been competitive for medals in years, and does that hurt his sort of fastest man in the ever category if he beats him? I would just look at it. He's still the fastest man ever. He just got beat by a younger, potential GOAT of football. I wouldn't look at it any differently, but that's not the way people in general do it. I don't know if that would be such a good idea for Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt also actually came through the Dortmund system and played a little bit in Australia. It didn't really work out for him, but he's a big lover of football himself, Usain Bolt. You got to wonder with an athlete that if he had the proper training, would he be able to play at this level? I wonder. But, I mean, obviously he had bigger things to do. Kylian Mbappe with the ball. He tries to work with the defense, feigns, and gives up possession. Dortmund controls.
I think that's the thing, though, because like Mbappe is so lightning quick. Imagine if he'd, instead of football, he'd trained to be a runner and learned.
Julian Brand
yeah,
looking for the through ball. Gets it to Sancho. Whoa, stripped away by, who's that, Dembele? What is he doing? No, that's not him. Now they're going to get the ball.
Mendes.
Long ball to Dembele, but it's going to be a little too far, and Kobe will pick it up.
The pitch just looks a lot bigger than when Braintree play on it.
Yeah, it does. It's the same stupid pitch.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, Ian, excuse me, I apologize. That was Mendes that made that excellent interception in his own end. Portuguese national Nuno Mendes. Great play there. Oh, it looks like there's a foul on, was that possibly Sancho? Yes, it is. He's holding his left calf muscle. It was a foul on the play, it looked like. Oh, no, he tipped it away and then tripped. I think that's clean. Or is he responsible for afterwards? I did get a foot on it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that does end up being a foul, but the intent was definitely.
He's got the player, but not the ball.
Yeah, no yellow card in this play for sure. But it did look like it hurt. Free kick.
Yeah.
About 40 meters out.
Maybe the money can convince Usain Bolt, though. I bet there's a lot of money in it.
You lose money if you lose the match. Sancho just broke through. He's looking for the cross inside the box now. And knocked away a corner or a deep throw-in. One of the two's coming. Looks like a deep throw-in.
I reckon Bolt could still do it, though.
How old is he?
I'm not sure.
Ryerson with another deep throw-in. Real close to the end of the box. Fired in by Ryerson, but it goes off the side of the net. Norwegian Julian Niderson and Ryerson.
37. Bolt is 37.
37. It's not a young guy. But I'm sure he's he's the best 37-year-old on the planet. I just why risk it? You know, there's certain like action heroes. They're not going to get killed in a movie or beat up in a movie because it ruins their overall image. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a bad guy.
Like The Rock, who has it all in his contracts. He can't lose a fight.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know, it sounds kind of egomaniacal, but you know, it is entertainment at the end of the day, and you do have to maintain a certain image.
But then if he beats him, it looks good.
Oh,
37-year-old Bolt still
but he
cooks like some 20-year-old
if he beats him, he's the fastest man in the world. So what? Even though he's 37 and doing it, but he doesn't really win anything. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll happen.
If he's got any bottle, he does it.
Interception by PSG. They try to work it from the middle. Atimi gets tied up. Some sloppy play right there, but PSG's able to recover and get it down the or tried to get it down the right side, but a bad pass by Hakimi fools Dembele. Am I saying his name right? Ousmane Dembele?
What? Ousmane Dembele.
Dembele, yeah. Dembele.
Also, Hentai in the chat, Royce isn't starting, no. He's on the bench.
Does the fact that, you know, there really isn't much of even of a difficult derby for Paris inside the French league, does that affect their European is that one of the reasons they never won one? Because it's just like they don't feel the pressure throughout the year.
I think so, because you know it's completely different when you're playing like a huge team, right? There's a different mindset. It's one of the things you've got to get used to playing, and I suppose that's definitely got to be one of the biggest reasons, I think, because you look at PSG's teams over the years and it's just as talented as any of the other teams that go on to win it, but they always seem to bottle it. They always seem to fall short, and surely that's got to be just their inexperience. You know, you look at like Manchester City win it last year. City have to play Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea whenever they're good, United 20 years ago when they were good. Just in their league, whereas PSG don't have that. Yeah, I think I think you're onto something there where it definitely must play a part.
Is there any way to make the leagues more competitive and not have these top-heavy leagues? Is there anything that can be done?
Yes.
What's that?
The Super League.
No, I can't.
Get the big ones out of there. Get them out into their own closed-off league so they can fuck off, and then all the
Super League again. Explain this.
So PSG dominate their league. Bayern Munich dominate their league. You get rid of them out of the equation by chucking them in a Super League. The league becomes way more competitive. And not only does it make the leagues more competitive, but because their away games are all going to be abroad because they're playing teams all across Europe, that means if you're someone that goes and watches Manchester City every single week, you're an Englishman, you suddenly can't go to Manchester City's away games every single week because they're going to Spain,
keep the English in England. Keep the English in England. Is that
yes? And so, what if they want to watch football that weekend and they can't afford to fly to Spain and Portugal and France every single week? What are they going to have to do? They're going to go and have to go and watch their local teams
non-league
in England. Which then means more people are going to start going to the local teams, which is then going to build up English football without all these big teams dominating everything and taking all the fans away.
I'd still watch. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know. I've been against ProRel up until last year, and now you of all the people I know are pushing the Super League. Do you really think? I mean, it is starting. I mean, World League football starting. I definitely, with the advent of Welcome to Wrexham, it's definitely getting more popular. Oh, wow. What a stop right there by Ryerson on Kylian Mbappe. But I actually think the ball was out. Should be a goal kick. No. Oh, what a stop by Ryerson.
Yeah, he's done really well there.
Yeah, he's actually looked good all this whole game.
One of the players that Union Berlin seemed to find.
Or Union Berlin looking at potential elimination and relegation after making the Champions League. My boy Benedict Hollerbach, man. Sancho moving it in the box. On the right side, looks for a cross. Likes to go to a low one, but it's deflected. Julian Brand will recover it and get it back to the backs at the top of the circle.
I think you're looking at it all wrong with Berlin potentially going down as a bad thing. You said it yourself. Hallerbach might have benefited from a season in the second tier, and so now he's going to get that season in the second tier when Berlin go down.
In fairness, they just let the other coach go. I think I think first of all, I think the Reds League figured out how to play him late last year, and I think it was the right thing to do to let that coach go. They seem to be very, very stubborn, not playing his younger players like Kaufman and Hallerbach. Lost enough players to really make the difference. Seems like a big mess over there. Really, really tragic.
Yeah, I understand the initial sacking of the first coach, but I thought the appointment of Bielitsa was an interesting one because he's not someone who has a really good CV, and surely you would have been looking at Champions League side Union Berlin. Surely you could attract a better standard of coach at that point,
and
right?
Mbappe on the right side got 3 defenders on him, being triple teamed. That opens up a shot that goes high and wide. Yeah, I think it's like, they didn't get the bump that everybody's always talking about. It really didn't work for them. Not quite sure what was wrong over there. Union Berlin has gained in popularity, and I'm judging that by going on vacation. I vacation with Germans every year. I go to a German, it's weird. If you go to Spain or like a Lanzarote or a Tenerife, Gran Canaria, because you buy them all in the same countries, the hotels are sort of segregated by European country, and I stay in German. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just over the years, seen all these Union You know, Berlin finally has a team to be proud of over there. Both Berlin teams looking to be in the second league after this. It's unfortunate. I really wanted the best for Hollebach, but not picking him for the Champions League, I think is a huge mistake.
Yeah, especially considering the fact he's now starting for them most weeks shows that.
But only 4 goals.
He should have at least been there as an option.
In fairness, that
as an option.
Only 4 goals. Probably. I'm sure he wanted more.
Only 4, but also how many did the others have?
They did. You know, nobody was really a big scorer that year. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they had very distributed goal scorings rather than, you know, a lot like a 2 double-digit guys. They had a lot of guys that scored 5 last year, and that just didn't happen this
Yeah.
year.
I don't know. Like I say, my biggest question for their season was the hiring of Bielitsa after sacking the first coach. I just think, you know, he's a guy, when you look at his past jobs, he was sort of bouncing around like the Croatian league a bit and like Poland, and he had like a very short stint in Turkey, and it's like, you know, you're a Champions League side. You're, as you said, it's becoming a much more popular team around Germany. Surely you can get a bigger name coach to come in. You know, someone who's got a more proven quality about them.
Still have that second league stadium over there. Maybe they're looking to save up. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously had Champions League money coming in, so their finances would have been boosted. But a relegation is going to really screw that plan over.
Might be getting a visit from Hollebach next year in Wiesbaden.
Might be able to buy him back.
Nice $2 million. He had big dreams. I can only imagine what it's been like for him. You know, he has that great performance. He has a huge primetime game in the relegation playoff. You know, people get to see what I was seeing all year. Actually made the team of the week for FIFA last year as well, which is really nice. Which he probably couldn't do anymore because of the women. Women added to FIFA, team of the week. Yeah, team of the week includes women, so that's the end of any third leaguers making it. Yeah.
So these higher quality female footballers are making it over him.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to get better.
Kylian Mbappe brings it to the center, drops it away. Mendes tries to fire it, and it's high over the net. Dembele, excuse me.
Well, you know, Hollebach's got like longer, like frizzy hair, so he might be able to play in the female Bundesliga.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'll have a nice shot.
Then I get it. I came this close to buying an autograph picture for him.
For yourself or your son?
To me. I think he's over the whole Hollebach craze. You fall in love with a player, man. It's tough to let it go. You know, all summer I was just sweating losing him, and then, you know, they got in that little tiff with. Well, it looks like he was going to Cologne, and then Cologne got in some kind of trouble, and then he was going to Union, and Union said he wasn't woke enough because he likes Andrew Tate. Wiesbaden told him to go screw. They got the $2 million. He's on his way to Champions League. Then they leave him off the roster. Then they don't play him. Then it's a big mess. Kylian Mbappe, everyone. Tries to get it out wide to Dembele. Sneaks one through. A give and go pass. It goes off of Slaughterbox's foot for a corner kick. Corner kick, PSG. Not a lot of chances on either side here. Oh, here's the delivery.
Yet.
High. Attempted header. Mbappe controlling inside the box, but he's pushed out. Gets it to Mendes. Mendes tries to go center with it, but is easily intercepted by Nicholas Fulkrug. And they still maintain, and a foul's called against Füllkrug. Excuse me, against PSG. It looked like he was pulled down there from behind, and Dortmund will get a free kick and regain possession.
Nice to see Sancho reinvigorated at Dortmund. He's just another one on the list of players which prove United is where you go to die with your career.
Very, very strange considering what's happening. I mean, I don't think at first I thought, oh, the Glazers this, Glazers that. It's just anti-American horse shit. I think with having the team as long as they have, you can say that the Glazers have really put that team to the ground. I think it's fair to say.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I kind of thought it might have been a little anti-Semitism at first, but no, they suck. They're terrible. I know exactly. They're running it like an American company. It doesn't. Sports don't. Players and athletics and art don't respond to corporate horse shit. They can't be run the same way. If you want to run a team, look at Wrexham. That's the way to do it. Admit you know nothing and hire the best. And enjoy it.
That's what Todd Bowley's doing at Chelsea, to be fair.
Hire the right people. Don't act like you know something.
I think United are very lucky they're such a huge brand. Yeah. Like, that club would be seriously fucked if they weren't such a huge brand.
You know what they remind me of is the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks before he passed away. They didn't win anything for like 40 some odd years. And as soon as the owner, who was basically sucked, here we go. Opportunity inside the box deep, tries to get across in, fired to Kylian Mbappe, but he shanks the ball back in possession. Up to Dortmund. Julian Brand gets it out to Amidi, and he's got Füllkrug on his right. They're both moving in. There's an opportunity. Harass, shot, saved by Donnarumma. An excellent shot, but maybe, I don't know, should he have dished it over there? But he had way too many guys. He might have the passing lane.
Yeah, I think he made the right choice there. I think they covered the pass to Füllkrug well. That even if he did slip one through, Füllkrug wouldn't have had any space to do anything. It's just a nice save from Donnarumma.
Excellent. A sliding shot by the team. Karim Atimi, German national, age 22. One of the best wingers.
From the Red Bull Academy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because he played under Bo Svensson at Liefering.
Oh, did you hear about, what was it, Bo Svensson? There's rumors about him going to, it wasn't Bayern. It was, I forget who it was. I already forgot. I forgot the rumor already. I know you're a fan of Mr. Svensson.
Yeah, I quite like him. I'd like to see him go back to the Red Bull system.
Bo Svensson.
I know Salzburg have failed to win the title this year, so they might be looking for a new coach. So it'd be cool to see him go back to Red Bull, go take over Salzburg, win an Austrian title or something. Get his career back on track.
Svensson stepped down earlier from Mainz 05. Never really, was he ever able to get them some Europe? I'm trying to think. I don't think he's ever got them in.
They always just finish short of Europe under him. But they were like relegation favourites when he took over, so.
Yeah. Set it in. Batted away. Dortmund defense. Füllkrug lands back right now. Appears to be in pain. A lot of pain. Oh, he's rolling back and forth. They get it wide to the left wing, Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe trying to find a through ball, can't do it. And Dortmund elects to knock it out of balance so Füllkrug can get looked at. He went down funny boy and didn't make any attempt to get back up. Wow, what a tap away. Who is that? Hummels? I think it was.
Yeah. Mats Hummels.
Kylian Mbappe got a slide tackle from behind. Now he's got no pass there. Timmy made the right play. An excellent shot and a better save.
Yeah, PSG covered well there. And GG with the save. Yeah, I remember that was like the first thing that caught my eye about Bo was Ninths were in the bottom three. And they were like bookies' favourites to go down at the time. And then he came in and their form after he joined was like 4th best in the league. And so he took them all the way up to like mid-table to finish that season from like a relegation spot when he took over. And then he finished just outside of Europe 2 years in a row. And then obviously this season it all sort of collapsed.
Some arguing going on between Slaughterback and the referee. Not sure what it's about. Both players from both times, all sorts of heated up. Matt Hummels. And ends up being a throw-in for Dortmund. Ryerson taking. Long ball, eventually finding Sancho right in the center, gets it to the right for Ryerson. Ryerson tries to sneak a pass in there that ends up being a shot on Donnarumma that's easily dealt with, right at his feet, picked up easily. Kylian Mbappe working up the left side. 3 men on him. Well, he likes to dribble through all of them, but can't quite get through. Does get the cross in, but right into Kobel's hands. Kylian Mbappe, a joy to watch.
I think Ryerson defended him well there, though.
Yeah, defense has been
Show him all the way to the touchline.
Defense has been excellent for Dortmund all game. Really, really impressed. Hatimi with an opportunity. Dortmund building an attack. Gets it to Julian Brandt. He's tripped up but recovers the ball. Oh, Brandt tries to get it ahead, but PSG is able to pick it up and get it back to Donnarumma.
It's kind of strange seeing that in the 40th minute of the game. Marquinhos, the defender, pushing his players forward, like hand gestures telling them to get forward. It's like 40 minutes in at 0-0. It's an odd sight.
Fabian Ruiz, number 8 for PSG, puts his first name on his jersey. What is up with that? I guess you can put any name in your jersey you like. I know with the Van Dijk situation, of course, it's personal with his father. What is the? Obviously, there's no rule, but what do you think about players putting their first name in their jersey?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really mind it. I know there's a lot of players that do it for certain reasons.
Yeah,
I know, like Memphis Depay wears Memphis, obviously Virgil.
I think Van Dijk being the son of a former Dutch national, that according to him, his father had less than nothing to do with him. most of his life. So he decided to take his last name off the jersey. He's still referred to as Van Dijk, though. Really sad story, if you ever looked into that. You familiar with anything that went on there?
No, I'm not, actually.
No, apparently, the guy worked his ass off to be a football player. And Dad, will you accept me now? And Dad says, you know what? I don't want anything from you. I want anything to do. It's cold, ice cold as it gets. You can see why Virgil van Dijk has a little bit of an edge to him. That'll do it. You know.
They ought, though, clearly, if you want your child to be a top class footballer, just fuck off out of their lives. It works well for them.
You don't think you're gonna get that on Glory Hunters. Everybody else is gonna fucking walk around that shit, not us. Sancho with a long throw-in, knocked away by Fulkrug. Possible. No. Flipped away and controlled by PSG. They're not trying to work it out of their own end. And they do. How do you say number 17's name? Vinta?
Vitinha.
Only one name, number 17. Center mid.
Scored a banger of a goal in the last round. You know, the longer this game goes on, the more worried I get for PSG.
Yeah, I you know, defense wins championships. They're definitely the better passing team, the higher quality team, but that doesn't necessarily equal W's.
100%.
Sometimes
Dortmund have defended really well.
Sometimes the Greybeards can grind you out. And that looks like what they're doing. And it's not like they don't have any quality up front with Fulkrug, Timi, Sancho. Here's an opportunity to Kylian Mbappe. He's working his magic inside the box, tries to get it in the center, but it's a little too far. A deflection off one of the center backs and out. That'll be a corner kick. A little dangerous right there. So that might have been the best chance of the game. Speaking of the devil appeared.
Yeah.
Dembele gets it in the center. Header goes off the top of the head of one of the PSG players, knocked away by Donnarumma, and it looks like a foul was committed by PSG, so Dortmund will recover with a free kick.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, yeah, Dortmund are defending really well, and, you know, PSG are pushing up a bit more because they obviously need that goal, and we've seen it multiple times now where Dortmund have sort of held the pressure in, and then when they break, there's a lot of space at the back there where PSG are pushing up. And so the longer the game goes on, the more worried I get for PSG, where if they don't get that goal, I think Dortmund will definitely exploit that space to a point where they'll get a goal instead, and then 2-0 is looking like too much of a mountain to climb for PSG.
You also got to wonder about fatigue setting, and certainly PSG is doing most of the running out there too. We're almost to the end of this half, and now there we are. That's the whistle. Score after 45 minutes, nothing. Oh man. Maybe we'll go
Dieses Spiel wurde Ihnen präsentiert von Lieferant, offizieller Sponsor der UEFA.
Don't claim me. Whatever you do. Commercials will claim. You realize that? That's unbelievable.
Weird.
What's your impressions of the first half? Nothing really happening, but I wouldn't say it was poorly played by any stretch.
Yeah, like, it's 0-0, but it's not necessarily a boring 0-0. It's been a decent game. We've not had that one chance yet, which has really, like, jumped out as, like, that should have been a goal yet. But like I was saying, like, Dortmund are finding space when they get the ball back off of PSG and push forward. And so I think we'll definitely see a goal in the second half. where either PSG's pressure pushing forward, they're going to finally unlock that Dortmund defence and get that one little chance they need to get their goal back, and then the game might really open up from there. Or I could 100% see Dortmund getting a goal out of this. You know, the space is there when they get it, and the longer that PSG go on without a goal, the more they're going to push forward, the more they're going to get fatigued from all the pressing, and the more opportunity that's going to give Dortmund when they get that ball and they hit fast back. You know, you got Adeyemi, he's lightning fast, and you saw even with the one chance he had, probably the best chance of the game for me was Adeyemi's one. You know, we're going to start to see more of that in the second half, I think, and one of them's going to end up going in.
Definitely that type of and that all is counting on Hummels and Schlotterbach holding up. But so far they've been the case, and certainly Ryerson's been out there to break up plays as well. To one Kylian Mbappe. I also want to point something out real quick. We have more people in this game, well, less people in this game than we did the National League final yesterday, where we had up to about 15 people here checking out the game, and about 10 in the watch along. Shockingly enough.
See, this is why we need the Super League, because then no one gives a shit about these teams. So just get them out of here.
Yeah, there you go. That must be it.
Yep.
All right, everybody.
There's no other explanation.
You can check out the chat if you want. If we get some chats. I am going to take a break and get a fake coffee, because I think real coffee probably would be a really good idea at 9 o'clock at night. Or almost 10. So it's all yours, friend.
Hooray. Not a lot of games to talk about, really, at the moment. For those interested, Bolton are beating Barnsley 2-1 in the League One semi-final. Be quite cool to see Bolton go back up. They're a side that have had a lot of money troubles. So if they get back in the Championship, that'll be a nice little turnaround for that club. Yeah, I'm surprised that the numbers are lower for this Dortmund PSG game, you know. Two big sides. I suppose the hype's not there though so much. Like no one gives a shit about PSG, do they? It's just Mbappe FC. He's not performed today, Mbappe. He's been there, but Ryerson's kept him quiet all game. Well, most of the game. It really starts to ask questions, you know, of Kylian Mbappe, though. He was quiet in the Champions League final last time when they played Bayern Munich. He's quiet again today against Borussia Dortmund. He was very quiet in the first game, quiet in the second one. Hentai's back. Everyone groans. Yeah, he is a bit missing. Yeah, still Mbappe. Ryerson's kept him really quiet. He had like one alright bit of play where he like crossed it, but yeah, he's done like fuck all. Haaland clears. I don't know about that either. Haaland's second half of the season, quiet as hell. Quiet as hell. Mbappe, I think Mbappe offers more than Haaland, but yeah, certainly first leg did nothing, and in this leg, Dortmund are keeping Mbappe really quiet. Ryerson's playing very well at right back. Hummels has had some really good moments where he slid in, blocked it, knocked it out. And they're just showing the replay again of the Adeyemi chance. I just really see Dortmund getting a goal like that. There's so much space every time Dortmund knock that ball forward to the three attackers. There's just a lot of space to run into. I honestly think Dortmund will win this, you know. I'd assume Royce will come in the second half. He always seems to get subbed on these days. Dortmund have kind of parked the bus. I don't know if you've watched at all, Hentai, but they've played defensively, certainly, but it's working for them. And like I've been saying, on the counters, there's space there. So, yeah, defending and countering is certainly the play. And like I say, I think Dortmund will win playing that.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Dortmund should park the bus. Maybe just stream the game with sound. Actually, how's this for sound?
Spiel über einen Dritten.
Not yet. Did you see? Oh yeah, did you see what Carragher was saying about Casemiro?
What did he say?
Today or yesterday?
No, I missed it.
He basically told him to go to the MLS or the Saudi League.
Oh Jesus Christ.
He was like, it's at that. He was like, he's a fantastic player. He's achieved more than I ever could, like in one of the greatest midfields ever. But he was like, there's a saying where it's like, leave the football before the football leaves you, and the football has left Casemiro, and it's like he's just damaging himself by playing in the Premier League now, where he just can't keep up at all. So he needs to go in the summer, like work out a way to get out of United and just go to like the MLS or the Saudi League.
What do you think of what do you think about Jamie Carragher saying something like that? He is not my favorite, by the way. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but he's awful dense, in my opinion. What do you think about him saying something like? Is it a reasonable request, or is he just being obnoxious?
Oh, I think it's reasonable. Like all season, everyone's been making fun of like Casemiro not having any legs anymore and him looking really past it. And to be fair to Carragher, he was really respectful in it, where he did say he was like he's in one of the greatest midfields ever. You know, like that Real Madrid midfield's up there with Barca's. Like he's achieved way more than Carragher ever did in his career. So he wasn't saying it in like a shitty way. He certainly was like I fully respect Casemiro, like he's a top player, but he is at that point of his career where he's just not physically capable to do it anymore in the Premier League.
There is no other sport like football where you don't exactly retire when you leave the top level. There's other levels where you can play and make a hell of a lot of money from, like the Saudi League, or you can go a step down and play with an Ajax or a Porto or something like that. There is a lot of options. You know, Hentai says that Ten Hag really fucked him over. Is there anything about Ten Hag's system? There's complaints about Maguire not really thriving under his system because he relied on center backs being a little quicker. Is Casemiro also a victim of Ten Hag too, or is that not fair?
I think that's unfair. I think Casemiro's a victim of age and his legs going.
Is that right?
And see, the Hentai saying it's like putting KDB at centre back, which just isn't true at all. Casemiro's a defensive midfielder, and he's played defensive midfield most of the season, and he's not looked good at all. And his best performances, funnily enough, have come in the last couple of weeks. Casemiro's had a few good games playing as a centre back, where he doesn't have to run around the midfield as much. But yeah, I wouldn't put Ten Hag to blame with Casemiro, because Casemiro's first season under Ten Hag, he played really well. He was like considered like one of the signings of the season. He did really well. So I don't think we can blame this one on Ten Hag. I think it literally is just Casemiro's past it, and
time for
and to be fair, he's only playing centre back because all of their centre backs are injured. Varane's injured, Martinez is injured, Maguire's injured. Who else have they got? Lindelof's injured. So it's like, even then, you could say he's fucking him over playing centre back, but he's got literally no one else to play there. So,
is it me, or would Miroslav Klose make a fantastic serial killer with that fucking crazy look in his eye all the time? Or am I just crazy?
He probably is.
He does when he tops somebody off, he just does a backflip or something.
That's how he got like so good. He's like he balances. It's like a balancing act. He's got that killer instinct on the pitch, and he like trains it by going out murdering at night.
That's what he looks like. There he is. Red Bull's finest, Thierry Henry. Jeez, he's still in fucking fantastic shape. Gee, look at him.
It's always interesting to see how players do after they retire. You get people like that, like Henry, who stay in really good shape. You get the Ozils and the Fernando Torreses who just start hitting the gym and get fucking huge. Yeah. And then you get like the Rafa van der Vaarts and the Casanos who just get really fat because they can finally just eat shit food.
Or Paul Gascoigne, who can look like he's in his mid to late 70s and he's only 55 years old. You know?
To be fair, he is English.
Well, Paul Gascoigne's hit the wall running.
Turns out years of drugs and alcohol abuse will do that to a man.
You know, Gascoigne just reminds me a lot of the best. He's a very hard person to dislike. I imagine if he's on your team. Ronaldo had an issue, though, right? I guess they did this. Mega just put up R9. I'm assuming R9. Didn't he have some sort of glandular issue or something like that? His weight was not him just being, I don't know, Brazilian. I think there was some kind of issue there.
Yeah, he had like some issue, and his knees literally blew up. So I can't imagine he's doing loads of
I know.
exercise.
You know, God, I mean, R9 leaving in the game just in his early 30s.
Yeah, Schneider got fat. Schneider doesn't have that excuse. Ozil's like proper huge now, though. It's like really weird because he was always like a skinny player, and now he's fucking. He's fucking huge, but not like fat huge. Like he's a tank.
Would you believe that I was as skinnier than Ozil at his age too?
I wouldn't.
I only weighed 100 pounds at my high school graduation, just a little over 100.
Have you seen the videos of him recently?
No,
down
I
the
haven't.
gym?
I haven't. I know he
uploads loads. He's fucking hench.
Yeah.
Like he's doing like really heavy weights, fucking like down the gyms. He's like a proper bodybuilder type now.
Not my favorite.
It's
player.
Like really weird.
Not my favorite player. The allegation he made and the fact that he thought he was treated differently because he was Turkish. It was just horseshit. Put a lot of bad taste in German's mouth. He was drooled over. Who is he kidding? You know.
He was fantastic player, but yeah, off the pitch, weird.
Weird guy.
He had a weird career. Because Arsenal kicked him out because they thought he was a problem player off the pitch as well. Like he was one of the guys that Arteta, when Arteta came in, he just didn't play a single minute because he was like, he needs to go.
Yeah,
he's a problem for the squad.
It's a little. Doesn't create a problem. You got a guy that has a personal relationship with a dictator. You know.
Erdogan was elected. He's not a dictator.
Sure.
He was just elected and then exercised powers to seize full control.
So was Hitler. You know?
He was under threat. There was a big coup against him, so he had to pull it off. Even though no one seems to remember this coup ever happening.
Yeah. Just a bunch of guys in the army got arrested. Traditionally, when Turkish powers get too out of control, the army does do a coup. And it's always in the West benefit that they do because they usually lean towards the kook side. Boys are coming.
My favorite thing about Erdogan is he always backs the wrong horse. I would love to hear him like betting because I would always bet against whatever he's gone for. Because you look at him, it's like all throughout all these elections in the Middle East where he's backed a candidate or a group, they always lose. Every single one lose.
What did I bet on last week so I'd lose? So they'd lose. I forget who I did. I do that from time to time. I'll bet on a team to make sure they lose. It didn't work.
Does it often work?
Yes. It works when I don't mean it to, and it works when I do. Last week it didn't.
So are you going to be betting on Wiesbaden or Braunschweig for the next game?
I don't do that. I can't do that. Something tells me that's a Pandora's box that I am not willing to open.
Yeah, that is like one of the rules of football betting is you never bet on your own team.
You can't. Never. Oh, I do bet on Wiesbaden scoring. I do next goal with them a lot. Now, have had
playing it risky.
Yeah, I do. I don't bet on if they win. I think it's okay to bet in your own team. Betting against your own team is evil, I think. All right, here we go. We're just about to get kickoff started. Let's go. The drums are playing. The Frenchmen have their baguettes, and we got kickoff.
May we.
Nothing in the first 45. Of course, Dortmund does lead aggregate 1-0. Tying this game up could put it into extra time and penalties. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I said whilst you were gone, I reckon Dortmund win this. I can see them holding on to the pressure a bit longer, and then one of those opportunities where they burst forward on the counter-attack, I think they're going to steal a goal, and it will see them through. Especially with how Ryson's keeping Mbappe quiet as well.
So far, I don't know how long you can do that within reason.
Dislike both these teams. Interesting. You dislike both of them as well, don't you, Tommy?
I don't have any problems with Dortmund, the players. I don't like the fact they sell all their players. Only because it doesn't make the Bundesliga competitive enough, and I don't like the way they choke. Here's an opportunity. Boy, a surprise, a pass selection in there instead of just blasting it. That does lead to a corner kick. Interesting choice. Was that Ruiz? Fabian Ruiz is the legs. Oh, Kylian Mbappe puts a shot on goal and it's deflected. An easy goal! An easy goal goes off the post by Zaire Emery. Should have been a tap in.
I think it was blocked.
Yes. No, it was not.
No, it was
right post.
It was post. You're right. Yeah. Wow.
Warren Zaire Emery, French national, tap and goal, have to finish there. I think that's said much too often. But I think it's fair to say even a midfielder should be able to tell a center back should have finished that.
Yeah, a professional footballer. I probably would have. Well, I say I would have.
Yeah. You fell down.
Probably, yeah. He would have somehow gone out for a throw-in. Zaire Emery's like scary young though. He's like 18. Not the start you want as a Dortmund fan though. All that defensive solidity from the first half seems to have all crumbled within the first couple of minutes of this second half.
Marcado's playing really deep. The line is really high. And Demi tries to get it through. Dealt with by... What was it, Matthew Hummels? Free kick Dortmund in their own end. Ruiz, that's it. Ruiz, rumors about Bayern. The coach for PSG, what's his name? The guy just Twitch streamer.
Enrique.
Yeah. Slaughterback tackled NFL style from behind and let go for some reason. TV trying to move in, but it's easily dealt with. And Marquinhos tries to make a pass back to Donnarumma, but it goes out of bounds for a corner kick. A little miscommunication there for Marquinhos. Center back and Brazilian national.
Get this on Fulkrug's noggin.
Julian Brandt with the corner kick. Here it is. Oh, it's in! It's in! Matthew Hummels! He scores with the header at short range, uncovered. 1-0 Dortmund and take a 2-goal aggregate lead. Matt Hummels coming up big.
That's a huge goal. Matt Hummels loves a big goal like that, though. It just reminds me of when Germany ended up winning the World Cup in 2014 and they won 1-0 against France in the quarters, and that was a Hummels header to see them through. A close tie.
Smart to
Fantastic delivery from Brandt.
Perfect delivery, and I like the way Hummels decides to go down with it, too. Instead of... a lot harder to deal with that bounce right before your feet than it is, jumping in the air to try to intercept.
Done well to find the space there. Got a question why PSG haven't put a big man on Hummels there, though.
I think it's now to say with a 2-goal lead on aggregate, PSG are in trouble, and now the 51st minute. Dembele tries to get it to Mbappe. It's intercepted. Moves in now. Dortmund moves up attack with Julian Brandt. Brandt gets it over to Sancho. Sancho taken out from behind, and there is no call. Sancho upset, still rolling on the ground, trying to get the call, unsuccessful. PSG don't have enough players forward. They elect to slow it down.
I'm not sure I agree with that decision from the referee there.
No,
I thought that was a foul.
Dembele with the ball. He's looking to move in. Brings it to the center. Drops it back.
Yeah, Hakimi's playing. Yeah, I think PSG certainly need a goal soon if they want to turn this around. They haven't looked too likely to score one, let alone now they need two.
Hakimi in the corner. He struggles to get it back to Mercados. Baldo. Attempt to Ruiz to get it to Mbappe fails and is knocked away for a throw-in. PSG still controls the Dortmund's end. Mercados drives it forward. Gets it to the right side to the Kimi. Dishes it to Dembele. Dembele tries to penetrate the box, but three defenders are there, including a teammate playing way back. PSG still controls now at the midfield line. Dembele in dangerous position. Tries to get it to Kylian Mbappe, but it's again intercepted. But also again, PSG controls. Hakimi looking for the big cross. Tries to find a PSG player. Fails. And PSG still able to control. Nicholas Füllkrug is able to dislodge the ball. He has Julian Brandt on his left. Brandt slows it down there in the center. Atemi now at the top of the box with only one defender on it. Can tries to work it in, but elects to get it to Julian Brandt. Now all the way to the other side with Sancho. Sancho with the through ball to Ryerson, but it's intercepted by Kylian Mbappe and creates a corner kick. Another set piece for Dortmund. With their now 2-0 lead on aggregate. Brandt to make the delivery once again. Successful last time with the assist to Matt Hummels. And here it comes again. High riser. And cleared away by PSG. No, a kick, a miss kick by Bardo, excuse me. And it gets the tip of Slaughterbock goes down. And that was Zaire Emery again. I apologize. We're amateurs here.
I'm not sure what Schlotterbeck's asking for there. Because at no point was he ever having the ball there, so If anything, he's just fouled him.
Yeah.
If anything, Schlotterbeck should have just shut up and let Dortmund carry on with the ball there.
First change coming on.
He's bringing off Adeyemi. That's an interesting choice.
Very strange. Marco Rees, number 11, replacing Karim Adeyemi.
I don't think I would have taken Adeyemi off personally.
Not at this point, unless there's some kind of injury issue that I'm not familiar with. Adeyemi did not look too upset. We are only, I can only think that it must be something injury related. We are only in the 55th minute.
Maybe. Because he looked the most dangerous of that front three, if I'm being honest.
Maybe they're taking a park on the bus? It looks like a team.
Well, even so.
Julian Brandt. All the way back to Slaughterbuck. The midfield line. A little ticky-tacky going on in PSG's end.
If the score stays like this and Bayern go through, it could be the year of German football we're seeing coming through.
Especially with the Leverkusen story.
So yeah, you've got the Leverkusen story where they're sort of just like blown everyone out of the water and shocked everyone with how good they're playing. They could win the Europa League themselves, an all-German final, and then you've got the Euros in Germany. Where the German team is put in a position now where they look pretty good going into this tournament as well. Might be the year for the Germans.
A lot of storylines just in general. Everything from Saarbrücken to Kaiserslautern actually make it into the final of Deutsche Pokal. Bayern's breaking, but also looking to get into the Champions League final themselves.
Stuttgart from relegation playoff to Champions League.
Lots of great stories in the German Bundesliga this year. Hakimi trying to work it to a low cross, easily intercepted. Julian Brandt picks it up, tries to form an attack, slowly brings it at his own end. PSG ball. The center backs will bring it up. Marquinhos and the crew.
I do enjoy watching Marquinhos play. I think he's just one of the best in the business in his position. You see him just marshalling it back there. Like he is the man at the back. Like everyone's passing it to him so he can make something happen, push the ball forward, because he's just that good of a player.
Potentially some nerves setting in for the PSG crowd. Some fingernail biting. It's getting frightening. Hakimi. Dembele. Over to Zaire. Zaire Emery gets it in. Fired in by Ramos, but high over the bar. Ramos not getting a lot of touches in this game. Most of the action coming to Hakimi and Dembele. Help me with that pronunciation again. I want to get it right.
Dembele. Ousmane Dembele.
Hakimi with a long ball. Does he have time to get to it? He tries to get the cross and wins a corner. Dembele elects to go short. A little pinball, top of the box. Fired in and off the post! Ooh. A long shot. Very, very lucky. You still have a clean sheet right here, Greg Cole. And here's a centering pass by Kylian Mbappe. It ends up being a corner kick. They go another short corner. Hakimi. Oh, he finds some open space. Looks for Dembele. Dembele with a high looping cross. And batted away to Kylian Mbappe's the other side. Real deep on the left side. Mbappe tries to get across. Attempt for a header deflection. Fails. And it's kicked away. That'll go in for a PSG throw-in.
I like these quick short corners that PSG are playing. It doesn't let the Dortmund defense settle and get into positions again. They just, as soon as they can, they're playing that out so they can just cross it in again. And it's creating a lot of dangerous situations here where, Dortmund aren't allowed to have any breathing time. They're just constantly under attack here.
Dembele trying to get it to Ramos. Scoots off of Rambo's feet into the crowd. Gregor Kobel is supposed to get the free kick. Excuse me, the goal kick.
Well, that was a very dangerous shot from Nuno Mendes, wasn't it?
Thought it was in, actually.
The same post that Zaire Emery hit, denying Mendes as well.
I think everybody's a little surprised to see that now going. It looked like a real solid strike. I think we'll get our first change for PSG.
Bradley Barcola's come on.
Marco Enzio.
They've had two subs there by the looks of things. You had Marco Asensio come on for Fabian Ruiz, but they've not said who Barcola came on for. My guess would be Ramos.
Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah. Ramos and Ruiz off. Asensio, Barcola on. We'll probably see Mbappe going a lot more central now.
Marcel Sapster will get the first yellow card for Defabri. Oh, here's Dembele with some space. He seems taken out from behind, but I think it's a dive because the ref didn't buy it. No, he calls a foul, but he says it's on the line, not actually in the box. Top of the box.
I'll say it looked like a foul to me, but
I wasn't sure. Oh no, yeah, but it was a great call by the ref just outside of the box. Mega dangerous.
That's a tough one to call.
No, he's not in. He's tripped up just before the line. I think that's the right call.
Dembele's right foot is in the box, but the left foot that gets tripped is outside.
super dangerous free
Still
kick.
very dangerous. Yeah.
You're only about 10 meters out.
It's basically taking it on the line. Don't need your little spray for that one, do you?
No, you don't. Well, the spray does come out for Dortmund.
I reckon Asensio takes this, the left footer. Looking for that top right corner.
So here it is. And it goes right into the wall and cleared.
Well, that was pathetic.
Yeah.
I had visions of that dipping just over the wall into that top corner. And he's just kicked it straight.
Marco Asensio definitely disappointed with that.
They're definitely going to need something a lot better than that if they want to get back into this.
Long ball to Dembele. He loses control. I think it went out, and it did. Matt Hummels picks up a yellow card. Not sure why.
Entai in the chat asks, who would you sign to replace Kylian Mbappe if you're PSG? You got any names you want to put forward?
Me?
You
I'm
never
the
know.
worst football manager player.
Anyone? Any exciting attacking players that have caught your eye that you think could do a good job? Well, there you go. Benedict Alaba, the Mbappe replacement. I'm sure PSG fans won't see the change in quality at all.
Oh, I think he could play at this level, actually. Yeah.
Maybe not quite to Mbappe's level.
No. Well, he's a unique player. Ramos
I would.
is replaced.
That's very late because Barcola came on when Asensio came on, so I don't know why they've only just shown that. He's been on the pitch for about 5 minutes now. I would nominate Kvaradona.
Yeah.
The Georgian Maradona. Kvaratskhelia playing at Napoli. Because you've got your strikers there in Ramos and they've got Kolo Muani. So I reckon I'd go for a winger to play out wide where Mbappe likes to go. Vicha Kvaratskhelia. There's my answer for you, Entai.
This is a better question for you. Much better question.
Well, I thought Holleback was an interesting take.
Stop it.
You could definitely see how he fits into that side. He'd warm that bench nicely.
And all that talk, Sancho takes an exit for Nicolas Sula.
An extra defender coming on. They are certainly parking that bus.
The formation definitely changes now. Putting up the yellow brick wall. Can PSG find a way to break through? Actually, I think it's a good time to park the bus. Interesting move by
Edin Terzic. Yeah, you got what, 20 minutes left. You're 2-0 up on aggregate. Yeah. Maybe you concede one, but as long as you can make sure it's only one.
If there was more chances by PSG, I'd be less comfortable with it. But just the fact that they've been able to limit them. Matt Hummels takes one right off his face. He's getting attended to right now. I think it might be the next best move.
Yeah, they've defended really well, and so bringing an extra defender in there to help them with just extra bodies in that box, just stopping PSG. Yeah, I think is a good Good time.
Matt Hummels clearly rattled with that ball to the face. Marquinhos dropping it back down around him.
Ente, I'll ask you this though. Did you watch Jack Grealish at Aston Villa? Because if you did, then you'll know why Manchester City spent 100 million on him.
How about Alvarez for Mbappe?
That's actually a good shout. Yeah. That is a good shout. I could see that. And you could probably get him off City's hands because obviously Haaland's the #1 choice there. So maybe you can say to Alvarez, look, we're going to give you the #1 starting spot in that attack. So then he maybe kicks up a bit of a fuss and says to City, look, I want to go to PSG. So you can get him off their hands. He's 100 mil worthy after English tax.
PSG struggling with the yellow brick wall.
I actually quite like that Alvarez shout, you know. The thing is, he's the type of striker. He works well by himself, but he can also work with another striker. So as the players I mentioned before, Ramos and Kolo Muani, Alvarez could easily play with them, play off of them, because they're bigger strikers.
He does play the wing from time to time too. You know, not just the
exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean by he's a striker by trade, but because he's like a smaller, more technical player, he's able to play off of a striker as well. And then you've got wing talents like Bradley Barcola at the club, who can replace Mbappe mostly out of wide positions.
Dembele getting it to Mbappe. Mbappe with a cross low, but the brick wall's there again. The last touch looked like it was it was on Madison to me. The throw-in awarded to they must blow 2 or 3 throw-ins a game. Throw-in to Dortmund. Brandt trying to swing it into Fulkrug like a cocked gun ready to go off at any moment. We won't have to give him much. Oh, here we go. PSG working it in the center. Getting static.
Dortmund are just there again.
Mendes gets it to Mbappe. Mbappe tries to launch one, but it's way off target.
Yeah, you can see the frustration coming through there now. It is every time Dortmund get forward there, there's just always that at least one Dortmund defender puts that foot in there when they need it.
A little more than 15 minutes left. I don't think you'll have much stoppage time added on. This ain't the Prem.
It's interesting that you pointed out in the first half, you said, could this be a defence versus attack sort of situation? And that's exactly what it's been. And Dortmund have, like, their defence has really shown up and been the good defence that needed to stop PSG to win this game.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Every single sport on earth.
This is the kind of performance as well from Dortmund that, you know, they certainly have a chance if they do make the final against both Real Madrid and Bayern if they play like this. Because it's the kind of performance where, all right, they're not dominating the ball, they're not creating loads of chances, but they are just so solid at the back where they're just, you know, they don't need a lot of chances. They just need to take their chances when they get them, and they're just defending well enough to stop the other team from being able to do anything.
Yellow card comes out. Hakimi jawing, claiming he was fouled in the box. Dembele picking up that yellow card, hard tackle in the right corner. Lee Kang in Looking like he's ready to get on.
About time. He would have been one of the first substitutions for me, Kangin Lee.
And the Warren Zaire Emery, he'll have a seat for the rest of the night. Had a good game, just couldn't quite put the icing on that cake.
Yeah, he's really unlucky not to tap in that finish. You know, it could have been a completely different game, and what a great moment it would have been for such a young player as well to sneak in that goal when they really needed it, but it just wasn't to be.
Dortmund getting forward to Julian Brandt. Julian Brandt, top of the circle, is juggling the ball, tries to get it in, deflects off the defender, and he'll win a corner.
He is a special talent, isn't he, Julian Brandt?
Julian Brandt doing his best Mbappe imitation.
And so, yeah, to keep the ball like close enough and to create the chance out of that situation, it's just brilliant.
Set up this corner kick that's coming in. High. Launch falls down in front. Headered in, and it's a goal! But it's waved off offsides. Matt Hummels almost had a brace. Yeah. Doesn't put up any kind of stink. They knew they were offside.
Yeah, I had a feeling as soon as I was like, I reckon that's off.
Yes. Hummels didn't put up any stink.
Oh, way off.
About 2 people lengths.
I reckon Donnarumma probably had that if he hadn't had touched it, so can't complain too much there. Yeah, as I was saying before, I think Kangin Lee has that quality about him when he can kind of unlock a defence. He's got that creative spark to him, and so I think I would have brought him on a lot earlier than Enrique did. I think I trust him more than like a Marco Asensio to open up the defence, which is really what PSG have been lacking in this game, is that player to just open it up.
Marcado to Menzi. Dembele tries to get through. Lee tries to move in after getting some static. Drops to Barcola, excuse me. Barcola with the shot blocked out in front by Nicholas Ryerson. Excuse me, not Nicholas. Julian Ryerson. I think I knew a guy named Nicholas Ryerson back home. Big shot coming in, blocked by Hummels. Brick wall in his own right. Mendy's deep, takes a shot and pops out back.
Just Dortmund block after Dortmund block.
We're definitely a little more than 12 minutes to go. Gang to Barcola, intercepted by Brandt, headed away. Now it's pinballing in the box. Barcola takes it out, wins a corner. I would say this is a big corner for PSG.
Oh, they need to kind of score now if they want this.
Barcola with the kick. Here it comes. Here's delivery. There's an opportunity for PSG. It tries to get stuffed in. Blocked out in front again. The yellow big brawl holds up, and it's cleared away all the way to Donnarumma.
It's just another Dortmund block after another Dortmund block. It's what they've been doing all afternoon. Defending for their lives at the moment, and it's working.
Hakimi tried to get it to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe gets a score. gets a shot on goal, wins a corner. Gregor Kobel probably makes a save, unnecessary as it was. A reactionary save. The ball had no chance of going in the net. Lee Kang will take the corner from the left. There he fires in. Hard shot. Batted away again by the defenders. Now it's a throw-in. PSG elects to go short with it. Kang tries to get it deep in the corner. Back up to Kimmy. Kimmy with the long cross that's easily cleared by Dortmund. One goal's not going to do it. This game's on aggregate. And Kemi has trouble controlling the ball with his first touch, and it goes out for a Dortmund throw-in. Dortmund will get positioned real deep in their own end.
It just doesn't feel like PSG's day today.
No.
At this point, it just feels really hard to see them getting that goal. It just feels like everything, they're throwing everything at this, and yet there's always just a yellow shirt in front of the ball.
Fulkrug with the ball. Long pass to the right side of the field. Not taking any chances, electing to go back, not try to really create much offense unless it's handed to him. Big tackle, Slaughterbock on Lee Kang. And I think they're going to call a foul, though. A semi-dangerous free kick. About a meter ahead of the line, all the way on the far right side. And the left footer will try to swing it in. He does a good job of doing it. Pinballed and batted away, headed away by Marquinhos on the left side of the net. Good delivery, good header. Just the stars didn't align close enough. Two nothing on aggregate. Dortmund, 83rd minute. Gregor Kobel with the long kick. And we have a foul. Looks like it's on Dortmund. It looks like King was electing to go with the quick free kick, but decided against it. Dembele chips it forward, tries to cross it, but again, the yellow brick wall stands. Oh! I don't know. I don't know who did the shoving. Was it? No. There's potential red card, violent conduct potential here. That's a yellow. You're lucky you're getting a yellow. Easily could have been a red. Yeah, Nicholas Slaughterbock trying to get up after a tie, and Hakimi just shoves him straight to the ground. Unnecessary, and quite frankly, just stupid and reflective of the way this game's going.
That's just pure frustration from Hakimi there, because you see Schlotterbeck hasn't even said anything there. Like, that's pure just like so frustrated, and he's just lashed out there. To be fair, I completely get it. Like we said, like every single time PSG have tried anything, there's just a Dortmund defender there.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think they played particularly really bad. I really can't point to any one part of PSG's game where they're failing, other than the finish. I mean, this is not a poor team. It looks like Dortmund will elect to go with their substitution.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal defending from Dortmund at the end of the day.
Julian Brandt will be heading out. They don't need the offense. Felix. Can't say that name. German national Felix Nemeka. Not familiar.
Entai asks in the chat, would this terrible performance by Mbappe impact his career opportunity with Real Madrid?
Yes. Yes, he's MLS bound.
They're ripping up the contract right now. Florentino Perez straight on the phone. You can forget it. I'll watch you against Dortmund tonight. Pathetic.
I think it just shows you what a well-coached defense can do. Can stop the best players in the world. I think the only question is, what was wrong? What does the Bundesliga know that the Champions League doesn't? Because it's not like Dortmund set the world on fire in the Bundesliga this year.
It's a strange one. It's like I said at the start, the Dortmund we're seeing in the Champions League just isn't the Dortmund we're seeing in the Bundesliga at the moment.
No.
Then maybe they just suit this really defensive style more, and maybe that's what it is. Because you think they're playing against, like, I don't know, Werder Bremen. They're probably not playing like this.
I also feel like they're getting outcoached. A header run by Dembele, knocked away by Kobel, knocked it. Oh, and it's going to go off the top of the post. Kylian Mbappe, open net. Tries
it is just not their day. They're throwing everything. This is like truly kitchen sink time for PSG, and it's just not working. It just feels cursed at this point. How the hell has that not ended up in the back of the net?
Dembele with the corner kick. Low one, knocked away by the wall. Again, Matt Hummels knocks it away. Barcoli tries to get it out in front. Hakimi goes in for a shot, feigns it, gets it to Kim. Kim harassed back to Hakimi all the way deep to Dembele, who attempts to make a cross. He does, and it's headed away real high, now at the top of the box. Here comes a volley shot. That also goes off the wall. Slaughterbock knocks it away now. Throw in PSG. Dembele to the far right. Looking for that cross. Has two men on him. Gets it up to the center. Fired, shot in. Off the post! Off the post! And bicycle kicked out of there all the way to Nicholas Fulkrug, who could potentially have a breakaway. He gets it to his right side. But Dortmund stays disciplined when they don't try anything. Think defense first.
Four times PSG have hit this woodwork. 4 times without scoring. Unbelievable.
Vintala, is that his name? Not having a good
Vitinha.
name. Vitinha, excuse me. Barcoli. He tries to work it in, tries to go through two defenders. Vitinha again. He's blocked out in front. Spits out to Barcola in the corner to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe tries to force it through. He chips it away to Hakimi. Hakimi's got a shot blocked out in front. It's the same story again, and another shot goes over the net by Kim. Excuse me,
Dortmund certainly riding their luck a bit here, but
excuse me.
Even though they are riding their luck here a bit, Dortmund is still a well-deserved result so far.
Make it hard to
They've
shoot.
left everything on that pitch so far.
Hakimi had the presence of mind to get it to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe probably thought he scored.
I can't believe he hasn't.
I'm interested to see how PSG is criticized after this, because I just don't know what they're doing wrong. Barcoli brings up the left flank, trying to form an attack for PSG. Gets to Kylian Mbappe, who's stripped the ball. That gets back to Barcoli. He tries to cross, but it goes far right for a throw-in.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can really criticise here. I think PSG's approach has been the right one from the start. I don't think much can be said about Enrique here. I think he's got it completely right where they've needed to be pushing forward. They needed to be attacking hard because they were behind. They needed to pull this back. So I think he's certainly got that right.
Hakimi picks up.
And yeah.
I'm sorry. We always got a little delay between us. I apologize.
I was just going to say, yeah, I don't think there's much you can really complain. Maybe the finishing a little bit. Maybe because some of these chances should have gone in.
For sure.
But certainly the approach and the overall performance, yeah, you know, you can't really fault PSG here.
90th minute, 20 seconds into injury time. 2 goals down, a mountain of a problem to get over for PSG, facing elimination right here, right now. Kang tries to bring it through center. Gets it to Hakimi, who picked up a yellow card before. We didn't mention that. Marquinhos playing a real high line. He tries to fire it into Kylian Mbappe, and Kobal's able to stop it.
Mbappe's claiming there, but ref is not having any of it.
Mbappe seemed to fall down. I'm not going to say he was knocked down because he didn't see him. He tries, actually, if anything, to make an argument he fouled a Kobal by kicking him on the slide. Oh no, I think his issues with Slaughterbuck, and I think he's got a better argument there. Slaughterbuck had his arm tied up. Ooh.
He's potentially pulled him down there,
yeah,
you know?
No, I think maybe Kylian Mbappe had more of an argument than we thought. It just, from behind, it just didn't look that way. That being said, 3.5 minutes to go. Dembele tries to get it in. Headed away. Could they get, I mean, a double clean sheet against this team is really quite an accomplishment.
Well, yeah, it's very impressive. You know, when you look at the attacking talent that PSG have, to keep them to nothing twice, even with a bit of luck here today, is a fantastic achievement. And if Dortmund do go through, they thoroughly deserve it.
Now 2 minutes to go. The brick wall stands. Dortmund work it out slowly. And they seem to be, they're giving PSG the ball. That's how confident they are with this. There's going to be no tickets for this bus in this parking spot.
Yeah, Dortmund certainly not overcommitting at all here.
Yeah, Slaughterbuck gingerly bringing it deep, waiting to get attacked. Oh, Jesus. Slaughterbuck fouled hard from behind, but no call. Really ridiculous. Yes, interesting. Shoved to the ground.
Yeah, that's certainly a foul right there. Yeah. I don't know why the ref's not giving that. You could see the force he went in with there. That wasn't like a tap. That was a full-on elbow.
Barcoli tries to force it through, but he has trouble handling the ball. And tries to work it in. Dembele trying to find some space to shoot. Can't do it. Kang works it over to Hakimi in the corner. Less than a minute to go in injury time or stoppage time. I don't know when that changed. It was injury time when I was a kid. Dortmund clears again. About 30 seconds left. And dreams of Real Madrid enter Kylian Mbappe's head. Doesn't look too broken up by the whole thing.
He's like, oh, fuck it, I'll win a few in Madrid anyway.
Mendes with the last desperate attempt. Kylian Mbappe on a break, but he tripped up before he gets a chance to take a shot for Kobe. That's it! Dortmund in the finals! And well earned.
Oh yeah, they've defended phenomenally today. They've thrown everything in front of the ball today, just to stop PSG getting through. The Matt Hummel's header was a lovely header. It was just a fantastic performance all round for Dortmund. Like we said, you know, there's not much you can really fault PSG for. And I think that really speaks to how well Dortmund played that. If you can't really point at anything in PSG's performance and say they did that poorly, it just really shows how Dortmund have absolutely smashed it today to come out as victorious against a side that you can't really fault.
Does that work against a Bayern or Real Madrid? That's the question. It only gets harder from here. But just the fact that Dortmund, with the season they had, and they really weren't expected to go deep. This is not necessarily being even a dominant, it's not like they finished second place behind Bayern and only lost to Bayern. This is a much different situation. Maybe allowed them to go a little under the radar and teams taking them less seriously.
Yeah, I think they could, if they play like this in the final, they have 100% have a chance of winning it. It's the kind of performance where they're so frustrating to play against. You know, there were so many Dortmund players in that box there. You know, every single time PSG tried anything, there was just so many Dortmund defenders in the way, and that can work in the final against the Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich. Obviously, you're playing a big risk there because you're letting them have the ball a lot. You're letting them have a lot of chances to score, but if you defend as well as they did today, then it's hard to see how anyone scores against that defence, right?
I would say
they were phenomenal. And obviously they got their goal. They scored in both games. They won both these games 1-0. And one goal is all you need when you defend like that. And that could certainly be the case in the final.
Man of the match, Mats Hummels for his header goal. I think the only reason with the backup to all three posts with a close second. Not that I didn't do anything particularly wrong. Taking nothing away from Gregor Kobel. He had a very good game. Made the saves when he needed to do it. But there was a little luck factor in where these guys couldn't finish. When they were finally able to penetrate it, the post was there to ruin their day.
Yeah, I said it during the game, and I'll say it again. It just wasn't their day today. That it just felt like that. Every time they went forward, it didn't feel like they were going to score. It just felt like something was going to stop it going in. Like there was a curse upon them or something. It was just remarkable how they just kept hitting the post, or a Dortmund player would just get there, or Kobel would just get a fingertip to it. It was just,
and the blocks.
It just felt like it was.
How many blocks did we see where guys just stood up and took one for the team over and over and over again?
Yeah, it was just non-stop. It was like, it just felt like there was nothing PSG could do today that could go in, because there was just so much going against them scoring.
I did just think what I think is a reasonable criticism. When they did have dangerous free kicks, they really were nothing to talk about. They didn't really even make them much of a scoring chance. If I had to criticize PSG's, when they had those scoring chances, they didn't even make them look dangerous. Something off the wall, it went low. It didn't look that great.
Certainly that Asensio free kick comes to mind, where he basically just kicks it straight into the wall, and it was just a pathetic attempt. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, the free kicks haven't been there, but I thought they did well with their corners, though. I'll let them have that. But yeah, their free kicks, certainly they should have done more from there. But other than that, they played well. They just, that was just such a formidable Dortmund performance at the back there that, there was nothing they could really do.
Final score, 1-0, making it 2 on aggregate. Dortmund concedes no goals to the mighty offensive power of PSG. Probably the last time you'll see Kylian Mbappe in a PSG uniform for the foreseeable future, maybe ever. That story comes to a close. Anything PSG, I mean, I don't think you can, even with an Alvarez, replace the type of PSG. I wonder if we really, I don't know if we're going to be seeing PSG this deep in this competition for the next couple of years, unless they're able to find a talent like Kylian Mbappe. So it'll be really interesting to see. And tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central European, 3 p.m. U.S., and 8 p.m. UK, we have the final, all tied up 2-2. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, they'll fight it out. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great one. See you in the server. Mbappe. Not a happy Mbappe.